February the 11th, 2021, to order at 6 o'clock p.m. and ask Clerk Simsky for a roll call, please.
Mayor Gunter?
Here.
The clerk's here. Trustee Barker?
Here.
Trustee Barry?
Here.
Trustee Brady?
Here.
Trustee Guzzo?
Here.
Trustee Little?
Here.
Trustee Nero?
Here.
Attorney Zemanek?
Here.
Village Manager May?
Here.
Finance Director Parker?
Here.
You got it. Would everybody please rise and join me in a pledge of allegiance? I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to welcome everybody. Good evening. And we're still having a virtual hybrid type of meeting. As you can see, there's 3 of our trustees are off-site participating. And tonight we have always an exciting night when we can swear in a new officer, or not a new officer, but a promotion. But before we do that, open forum. I know I've got a couple requests here. Manager May, is there any open forum requests that have been submitted online?
Mayor, there are not.
Okay. So I do have 2 individuals that are here. And the first one is Judy Wilson. She lives on East Des Moines, 17, and she'd like to announce her candidacy for 201 School Board. So Judy, who
Good
I
evening.
think we all have known.
Good evening, and thank you, Mayor Gunter and the village trustees, for the opportunity to speak tonight. My name is Judy Wilson, and I'd like to announce my candidacy for the 2-year term as a member of the Board of Education. I've seen Westmont schools go from just being okay to earn superior ratings in Illinois and countrywide. Families want to move to Westmont for our excellent schools and our thriving village and the strong community base that we have. It's important for me to give back to the community that has helped me so much in the past. I know firsthand how this community rallies and bands together. I've lived in Westmont for several years and invested in continuing to help us move forward. I have had the privilege of being elected 3 times in the past, and I've served a combination of 11 years on the District 201 School Board. I strongly believe that a successful board should be comprised of people from all parts of our neighborhood, and it should represent all facets of our town. As someone that has been heavily involved in school district leadership, I strongly believe that experience matters. I am in a unique position to add to the current makeup of the board, and I will bring my experience and knowledge back to the District 201 Board of Education. As you know, the election is April the 6th, and I also know that some of you are also running in that election for the village. I'm here to ask for your support and the support of my fellow neighbors as I seek the 2-year term on the Community Unit District 201 Board of Education. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. And our second person, who I think most of us have also known, Marie Charlton, would like to speak. She lives on 129 South Hudson, and she's here of support of Judy Wilson.
Hi, thank you for having this open forum and allowing us to be here. I just want to throw my support behind Judy Wilson. I find Judy to be empathetic, kind, honest, loyal, and I think she would make a fantastic school board member again. She brings knowledge and experience that are critical for all of us. Participating, public service takes a special dedication, special calling, and I know I'm speaking to the choir here as I talk to all of you. And you have to be dedicated, and you have to really feel passionate about what you're doing. And I know Judy is that person. And as someone who was on the school board for as long as I was, I hold our District 201 as a special place in my heart, and I love to throw my support behind these candidates. And so I would like to ask you, Judy is running for a 2-year seat, and so I am just asking for her support, for her. And I also have a neighbor, his name is Kevin Marin, he's running for a 4-year seat, and it's his first time on the board. So I'd like to also endorse him too. So thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you. And again, our open forum is available for anybody who'd like to introduce themselves, and I thank you ladies for coming out tonight. At this point, I'll close open forum, and I'm going to move on to reports. And the first item I want to do before I get into any of the other information is what I always enjoy is swearing in one of our officers to sergeant. I call on Chief Gunther to lead off.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, Board. We have tonight a swearing-in ceremony for newly promoted Sergeant Doug Mantooth. Doug's been a member of the Westmont Police Department since 2005, so he's a 15-year veteran of the department. He is a critical incident team member trained. He's a juvenile officer, a breath operator. He's part of our bike patrol unit and honor guard member. He's also a certified field training officer, which is kind of a precursor job to being in supervision, because the field training officers are the officers that groom the newest members of the police department. So, you know, we're very proud to have Doug on board as a sergeant. He competed in a very competitive process 3 years ago. The eligibility list that he was placed on was effective. We're in 2021, so 2018, and it came right up to the last month that he got promoted. So he made the timeline, and in fact, we were in the process of testing for the next sergeant list, which the Fire and Police Commission just established within the last week. So I do have the Fire and Police Commission here tonight, and
They will stand up. We can see the three of those and done a tremendous job. Thank you.
So since I have the opportunity, and the field and the Fire and Police Commission are here, they have been working extremely hard the last several months on multiple tracks on behalf of the police department. We had our patrol officer eligibility list expired, so they've reestablished that list. They had back-to-back weekends of interviewing at least between 6 and 7 people, 2 Saturdays in a row, which is an entire day. They had to run the sergeant promotion test to establish the new list. They had to promote off of the current sergeant list, which brings us to Sergeant Mantooth. And in fact, if I have a quick 30-second story, in the most unique circumstances, Sergeant Mantooth was actually taking the test for the next eligibility list when the commission made the decision to promote him off of the current list, and they literally pulled him out while he was in the middle of a exercise with a role play actor, and it was an unprecedented move. So literally, Sergeant Mantooth was in character answering the questions from a concerned citizen, and the commission all ran down, and they swung the door open, they interrupted the entire thing, and they said, "You're promoted, get out, you're done." So the 2 assessors have never seen, they were, off-site assessors that came in to evaluate, and they've never seen anything like that. So it was unique. We are happy to have Sergeant Mantooth on board. He will be, he's assigned as our relief sergeant, so he will have, basically, allows us to plug him in where we need him on the patrol shift, and then he can handle any administrative functions as scheduling permits. So with that, Mayor, if you can approach and swear in Sergeant Mantooth.
And it's my honor to provide this oath of office, and I'd ask you to please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Douglas Mantooth,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the laws of DuPage County,
the laws of DuPage County,
the Westmont Village Code of Ordinances,
the Westmont Village Code of Ordinances,
and that I will faithfully discharge
that I will faithfully discharge
the duties for the office of sergeant
for the duties of the office of sergeant
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now, Sergeant Mantooth's son is going to pin his badge. So we have.
If I could take a moment to say a few words here. It's not that long, I promise. It's that I'm getting older and need bigger print. I'd like to take a moment and thank the following people: Mayor Gunther, Village Manager May, and the Village Board for sacrificing their time tonight. Chief Gunther, for your kindness and for the chances you've given me while I've been employed with the police department. It's an honor to serve under your command, sir. To the Board of Fire and Police Commissioners, my sincerest gratitude. My sincerest gratitude to placing your trust in me to become a sergeant for this village. And thank you for the time that you guys sacrifice, that you pour in, and the heart and soul you give to making this police department a better place. To my wife, son, and family for their love and support, for standing by me and encouraging me through this journey. I would not be who I am without you guys. And lastly, and certainly not least, my deepest love and gratefulness for my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Without him, I would be nothing. I thank him for his blessings and for making me who I am today. Thank you, everyone.
What I'd like to do is have the board come around, if that's all right, and family, and my police and fire commission. You guys come up, be a part of this picture. You wore a tie today. Look at Wait, you want to borrow? Yeah, come on. Yeah. Board, come on up. Bruce? Yeah, I want everybody to be in the picture. I think it's quite an honor that we have. Randy, come on. Get a couple more. We got room. Right, stand. Get everybody, Jenny? Go.
There we go. Okay, good. Do you want to
Just
do
the
this
family,
real
just the
quick?
family. Get us out here.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Again, congratulations.
Thank you.
Again, it's quite an honor when I have the opportunity to either swear in a new officer or to promote one. Now, we'll call upon the fire chief, who plays second fiddle tonight to the police department, to give us a COVID-19 update. Chief Riley.
Thank you, Mayor. I always play second fiddle to the police chief. But just to give a kind of a lengthy report tonight, currently 69,988 cases in DuPage County, along with 1,138 deaths. In Westmont, positive cases of 1,775, along with 51 new cases in the last 14 days. While the state positivity rate is 3.9, the 7-day rolling average is 3.3, which is phenomenal. In DuPage County, they continue to get about 10,000 doses of the vaccine weekly. In the state of Illinois, they're administering about 56,100 doses a week. If you have not heard, Governor Pritzker came out with a new phase 1 eligibility today, that'll go in effect on February 25th. And this expansion applies to individuals 16 and older who are otherwise covered in previous eligibility categories. And some of those sicknesses or guidelines include cancer, chronic kidney disease, COPD, diabetes, heart condition, organ transplant, obesity, pregnancy, pulmonary disease, and sickle cell disease. Also today, State of Illinois and the Department of Public Health announced that 300 new COVID-19 vaccination locations have been added. And I did a little homework this afternoon, and I'm happy to say that Jewel Osco at 4 East Ogden is one of the locations, along with the Walgreens at 63rd and Cass. Again, if you are in that category or over the age of 65, you can go on the DuPage County website, or you can go to coronavirus.illinois.gov to register to get on the list to be given this vaccination. I know Dr. Fauci just announced that he hopes to have 200 million new cases so that everyone is eligible to get the vaccine by April. So that's a lot of good news coming our way. And as I always finish, we need to continue to wear face coverings. We need to continue to wash our hands and social distance. And I've already been asked some questions this afternoon about the rumor or the confirmation on wearing 2 face masks. Obviously, if you're wearing a surgical mask or a face covering, that is only given about 60% coverage, where if you're wearing 2 face coverings or 2 surgical masks, it's helping and giving about 90%. So again, I'm not here to promote double face coverings. However, if you are concerned around people, it is a good idea that you possibly could wear 2 face coverings to lessen that exposure. So sorry, Mayor, it was a little lengthy, but there was a lot of great information that's come out in the last 24 to 48 hours, and I'd be happy to answer anybody's questions that may have.
Any questions?
The website again, to go online and sign up?
Website, Chief?
Coronavirus.illinois.gov. Coronavirus.illinois.gov.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Chief, again, thank you for all your information, staying on top of everything. Really appreciate it. I have a couple other items that are related to the 100th anniversary. The Best Pet Contest. Now until February the 28th, pet owners are asked to tell us why they have the best pet in Westmont in 50 words or less, along with one picture of their pet. We want to come up with our pet mascot for the 100th anniversary, so we're hoping we get a lot of entries. The trivia contest results. All entries have been tallied and sent to each team for verification. Final results will be announced soon. The Decals and Flags. Several decals have been placed on village buildings and vehicles. Flags have been ordered by the library, Village Hall, Public Works, and both school districts. And again, our anniversary date is November the 10th. And that'll be when we're trying to celebrate all year the best we can. And on November the 10th will actually be our 100th birthday. So that's all I have, and I'll move on to Clerk Simsky.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to remind everybody that the village offices will be closed for President's Day on February 15th. I believe Trustee Brady'd like to add to that.
I just want to mention, that interrupt you, Trustee, that actually, technically it's really Washington's birthday. All U.S. flags will be at full staff, not at half staff. And hopefully more residents during our 100th year do display the United States American flag. Thank you.
No problem. On our local elections, local voting will take place on April 6th for village positions, park district, township, and library positions. Vote by mail will be available February 26th. Last day for early voting is April 6th. You can register to vote at the clerk's office. Early voting locations can be found on the county website. The school district also is involved in the election. Westmont Citizen of the Year nominations. Forms are now available at westmontchamber.com or at Westmont Chamber office and Metro Station. The deadline to submit nominations is March 5th, 2021. And I just want to really thank our street department. They have just worked around the clock for so many days. I can't express enough gratitude for how hard they work and do a great job. They make Westmont look really, really great because they're so good at getting it cleaned up. And just wishing a happy Valentine's Day to everyone. So do something nice.
Someone's wearing red, too. Clerk Simsky, on the mail-in voting, it's available on the 26th to register for it, or do you register here at the clerk's office? February 26th, it says you can start.
Vote by mail, right.
Yes.
I think we'll have to talk to them. I'm not sure.
Okay.
You know, I would assume that you would contact the county.
Okay. Because we know that's been.
Yeah, because we wouldn't have ballots.
That's right.
So.
Okay, probably go to the county's website and get your ballot sent to you by mail, if you want to vote by mail. If not, you can vote in person.
Right.
All right, I'm going to ask for Trustee Nero to give her an update.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a few things just to add to the vote by mail. Yeah, it's as simple as requesting the ballot, and I highly encourage voters in Westmont to do that. I think the last 2 election cycles, our county clerk has, I'm sure against the wishes of our clerk, has changed polling places, closed some, and even forced residents to go all the way out to Wheaton. So if you have the opportunity, even if you don't trust it, you can physically drop the ballot off. I've done it the past few times, and this guarantees you'll be able to vote. So I'd encourage everybody to do it. With COVID, there's just a lot of unknowns on polling places. And up next, I just wanted to thank the streets department. Holy cow. I mean, I know my back hurts from shoveling every day the past 8 or 9 days, and to see them out every day, always there, never wavering. I mean, it's because of them that our first responders are able to do their job and things are able to keep moving and folks are able to go about their day. So I know it's a lot of work, especially with the ice now and it's getting even colder. We sincerely appreciate all the effort. So thanks to Mike and the entire team. Speaking of Public Works Committee, our next meeting will be March 25th. And also just a little heads up, once the snow goes away, we are still, trying to take care of some trimming of parkway trees, and so that's still kind of happening in between all the weather, so keep your eyes peeled for that. And so far, just kind of a fun fact, I bet you it's outdated as of right now, we have used 1,341 tons of salt of winter this year, so I imagine it's up to about 1,500 tons already today, but who knows, spring is around the corner. That is all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Trustee Nero. Now I'd ask Trustee Little for an update.
Thank you, Mayor. We had a Administration Finance Committee meeting this afternoon at 4:30 here. We talked about the 100th anniversary activities that are taking place all year. The first one was in January. We ran a trivia contest, which we had 40 teams sign up for, and 10 teams completed it. So we'll be announcing our winners, I think, next week. The mayor mentioned the Best Pet Contest is going on in February, so we're hoping to have an announcement in March. And the individual pet that's chosen will be our mascot for our 100th anniversary. Another thing that we're talking about is a anniversary plate for the 100th anniversary, since we had one made for the 50th and one for the 75th. Another item that was brought up was abandoned properties. We'll be looking at that in the near future. There's also a vehicle purchase on today's meeting scheduled later that's going to be for 2 dump trucks. Apparently ours are falling apart at the seams and we need to replace those in order to move all that snow that's piling up everywhere. That's a mess. Our final numbers for the census will be available hopefully by July of this year. And then we also saw some changes to the Village Hall that are being used to create additional new spaces inside, and it's being done by Inside Services, so that's a really nice thing. Our next Administration Finance Committee meeting will be held March 11th at 4:30. Feel free to join us. And then also, please sign up for the Village New e-newsletter. We have about 3,000 people signed up so far. And if you go to the Village website, you can clearly see that it's marked, and go sign up. We do a e-newsletter the Friday after a board meeting, so you'll catch up with all the things that are happening that we've talked about at this meeting, and then all the additional items that are coming up in the future. So that's all I have, Mayor. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you. And we'll ask Trustee Marie Johanna Guzzo for her information.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I want to echo everyone's sentiments with the street department. Job well done. Big thank you. I know that we've got snow scheduled for the next 2 days and cold temperatures, so I just can't say thank you enough. A lot of positive feedback from the residents in my area, so thank you. And then I just, too, want to wish everyone a happy Valentine's Day and enjoy the President's Day holiday Monday. Please be safe and stay warm. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Trustee Barker.
Only one thing this evening, Mayor. Westmont First meeting for this month has been canceled. Other than that, that's all I have.
Thank you. Trustee Harold Berry III.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Again, just, echoing everyone's sentiments. The Public Works has done a great job, and I want to especially reach out to Johnny Dispenza, who had to work on his birthday this week removing snow. So a happy birthday to him. I also would like to thank the fire and police, because it seems like I sure hear a lot more sirens and so forth when I'm out shoveling so much. So I know that they're working a lot and dealing with the temperatures and everything. So to our first responders, big hats off to all you guys, especially Doug tonight with your promotion. Great 15 years, and hope to have you for 15 more. So thank you guys. To the economic development, Quincy Street Station is still moving along, and I think all of us are kind of observing that, they're going up floor by floor, and we're all excited to see that project going forward. Vincitori was hoping to reopen by this evening, but they have a couple snags with the state, and it's not on the village's end. As a matter of fact, they're very complimentary of working with the building department and the fire department, and they're hoping somewhere between 3 and 10 days to have that squared away. So we'll all be watching for that. And then also the new hair salon downtown was hoping to be open, but they said by next board meeting that they should be open. So again, excitement downtown, and we also see the old Amber conversion is moving forward, and they're getting closer. Ogden Avenue, the medical center, is just probably months away from actually being open and occupied. Cass Avenue Dream Homes continues to expand on their project. And then just a reminder that the restaurants are open for indoor dining. And again, masks and so forth, all the PPE is being practiced by all of our restaurants. And if you're not comfortable with that, they are available for carry out, curbside. All of those options are still available. So we encourage everyone to shop and dine in Westmont. That is all I have, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Well, thank you. And we'll turn to Trustee Brady.
The Westmont Chamber of Commerce and Tourism Bureau is hosting its 5th annual Westmont Restaurant Week, starting on Thursday, February 25th, and running through Saturday, March 7th. Details and menus from the participating restaurants are available at westmontchamber.com. Hopefully, everybody enjoys the great selection of menus and restaurants, and welcome back. And hopefully, they'll have chairs and tables for the diners. Thank you.
Thank you. And before I move on, my compliments to all of our first responders and our Public Works Department. Today, we get calls about sidewalks on Cass, and there's so much they need to do. Today, I saw them all the way on 65th, removing snow from the sidewalk. So we're trying to get to all the areas where people walk. We try to get to the central business district as soon as we can. But our first priority is always the streets. But I saw them out today, and they're constantly trying to stay on top of everything. So again, congratulations to them. They've done a tremendous job. Moving on, does anybody want any items to be removed from the consent agenda? Hearing none, I'd ask Manager May to please read.
Thank you. The Consent agenda for this evening. First is board meeting minutes. Board to consider approving the minutes of the village board meeting held January 28th, 2021. It's followed by finance ordinance number 18 in the amount of $1,692,888.02. We have 3 purchase orders. First purchase order is RMC Incorporated at $94,621. That is for a total boiler replacement at the fire department headquarters building. The next 2 purchase orders are for the trucks that were referenced earlier. They are to Truck County of Illinois, $165,937, and they're the replacement for the 510 dump truck. First one replaces Unit 100. The second one replaces Unit 108. That brings the total of the purchase orders to $426,495, and the total of purchase orders together with finance ordinance number 18 is $2,119,383.02. Next is a reduction in available Class 1 liquor licenses. Board to consider an ordinance reducing the number of Class 1 liquor licenses by 1 due to a change in ownership of Click Sports Bar and Grill, 6010 South Cass Avenue. That completes the consent agenda, Mayor.
Do I have a motion to approve as read?
Motion to approve, Little?
Second?
Motion been made in second. On the question. Hearing and seeing none, I'd ask for roll call, please.
Trustee Little,
Yes.
trustee Brady,
Yes.
trustee Barker,
Yes.
trustee Nero,
Yes.
trustee Guzzo,
Yes.
trustee Barry.
Yes.
Motion passes. We'll move on to new business. A, increase in available liquor license. Board to consider ordinance increasing the number of available Class 1 liquor license by 1 for El Delphin Bar and Grill, 6010 South Cass Avenue in Westmont. And I had asked Deputy Liquor Commissioner Mulhern to give us some additional information.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, Board. The Board, due to a change in ownership and overall operation, Click Sports Bar and Grill will now become El Delphine? Delphine. Sport Bar and Grill at 6010 South Cass Avenue. A background check revealed that El Delphine and its owners are eligible to receive a liquor license. The theme for El Delphine will be a seafood restaurant with a Mexican flair. And with me tonight is a former owner of Click, is Mike Hussein, and his new partner for El Delphine of Jesus Serrano. I'm sorry about that. They are here to talk to you about the changes that will be coming. I'm looking forward, and as they talk, I'll be their IT guy. I'll put their menu up on the screen here, and hopefully you can get up and see what they're talking about. So I'll turn this over to Mike and Jesus.
So I just want to confirm that I'm not retiring, I'm still there. So when we talk about the new owners, so I'm gonna be still there, 50-50, we are doing that. And the reason, I've been there for 2 years, studied that there's too many sports bars in town and how I can bring the business, to pay the bills. So that was the new idea came in, the seafood, the Mexican seafood restaurant, to bring that in the town. Because we don't have nothing here near about 10 or 15 miles, so except the Papados, and there's the second one we're gonna bring in here. The reason I'm just putting that there's like a Mexican seafood, so did this research about almost 6 months, so there's around about 20 miles radius, we don't have a Mexican seafood, around that neighborhood. So my goal is the Westmont, but I have to bring the crowd from the other town people too here too.
And also, I'm talking with Mike and I'm trying to put this up as we go.
Yeah.
Again, it's going to be a seafood restaurant with a Mexican flair.
Yeah.
And in talking to Jesus, they will have Mexican dishes available.
Correct.
We've talked extensively about the use of the outdoor patio, and there will be some restrictions placed upon that use, mainly for entertainment purposes, by the mayor. And I made them aware of this tonight, and we can talk next week. But restrictions are due to complaints in the area from neighbors mainly because of previous businesses, not so much for Mike. During the last 2 years, he's been extremely cooperative and has obeyed all the rules we put on him, so. But they will be using the outdoor area as well as the inside. And any changes to the inside? I think you talked about just the signs.
Nothing
or-
gonna change except the menu, it's all, we open the kitchen till late, and outside, we talked about it, no amplifier noise, nothing, but what do you call it, mariachi and stuff like that too, those kind of things we're gonna entertain people too, while they're eating, so they get that too. But the food is good. We're doing this thing, we have those couple of restaurants in Chicago, in Texas and stuff like that too, is very popular. We have the same restaurant in Cicero, when we changed this menu about 3 years ago. So the restaurant was doing about $100,000 or $250,000 a year. And when we changed this menu to right now, we're doing about almost $3 million business on that too. So it's not, it says the Mexican seafood, but we make the custom, though people like the spicy or like non-spicy, but all kind of seafood. We have a crabs, shrimp, lobsters and all kind of stuff too with that too.
And does this business the same name in Cicero, or does it have a different name?
Oh, no, it's a different name.
Different name,
Yeah.
the same concept.
Yeah, the same kind of concept.
Got it.
My question is, how soon do you anticipate opening?
So we just got, hopefully within a week or by last week of February or within a week, we're ready to go.
And it's good. I mean, you've done a great job remodeling it. When we had an opportunity, we had the ribbon cutting there. It's a great inside, and your patio is very nice. So we're excited about the change and getting it reopened.
Yeah. So just waiting for I just got a email today with the code enforcement. Our permits are ready for the signage. So hopefully within a couple of days we can install the new sign. The click sign gonna remove this new sign. As soon as the sign done, we start ready to go open that too. We were just waiting for the sign.
Any other questions?
Excited to see.
Thank you. Well, I do need a motion to approve the liquor license.
Motion to approve, Little?
Second, Barker.
Motion made and second to approve on the question. Seeing none, I'd ask for roll call, please.
Trustee Little,
Yes.
Trustee Barry,
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo,
Yes.
Trustee Barker,
Yes.
Trustee Nero,
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
All right, motion passes. Your liquor license, will go through Tom, will be available. And
It'll be
again,
tomorrow through the clerk's office.
I know you know Larry Forsberg, but get a hold of Larry and he'll help promote.
Sure.
And get you on the village's website, the chambers, so.
All right. I need one request from the board. I know I talked to Tom about I'm already approved from the state for this location for the gaming. And I asked him, he said, with the new license, I had to wait for another year to get it. With the pandemic, I need a help, you guys to board. Technicality, the corporation is the same. It's not, the corporation, I was 100%. Now I have to bring the partner. The reason I bring the partner in, because so he can maintain the restaurant, 100%, because I have so many other things to do, so I'm not there all the time. I cannot spend too much time, so that's the reason I bring somebody in the board with me to share with him, so we can succeed in the Westmont. But if you look at it, with just selling my stock to him, but we didn't change the corporation. It's not a new corporation. It's been there for 2.5 years. So I know the Westmont rule is the new corporation have to wait for 1 year to get the license. So I want to consider just to help, need some help from you guys to consider that too. So get a gaming in there too. so we can able to pay the bill, not,
I'm, first of all, just for clarification, I'll turn to the attorney that the way our ordinance is written, I'll let you explain it.
Yeah, well, he was right that the ordinance says with the grant of a new license, which this is, there's a 1-year waiting period before you can apply for a Class 23 license for video gaming. Now, that is an ordinance created by the board, so it's also an ordinance that can be waived or altered by the board when applied to an individual circumstance if you're so inclined. Meaning that I think the applicant, maybe based on some direction or feedback he gets tonight, could apply for a Class 23 license, and the village board could either waive the 1-year waiting period and approve it, or say, because there's a new 50% or so owner, we still want a waiting period, but only want 6 months, because this business has been in operation for years with at least one of the owners. Or they could say, you know what, this is premature, we want to wait the full year. And I leave that up to you, but those are your options. And you wouldn't be deciding it tonight, but you can give some feedback, and then they can decide when to apply for a Class 23 license.
Yeah, and that's why I wanted the attorney to explain it. The board has that. They can adjust it, amend it, waive it. There is 50% new ownership. I think the reason we put this in is that we got an idea of what kind of business was being run before we even addressed that. I know we put some ordinances in that limit the cafe sort of things because we didn't want that in town. And again, the gaming does help businesses, so I'm looking for feedback from the trustees. Again, we're not voting on it, we're just looking for feedback so we can give direction to the two owners.
I would, my point would, I guess it would be is, as long as the partner is, due diligence with a background check and all of that, and I have to say, I don't support the expanded video gaming, so I'm sure I was a no for your particular case, just that I don't want to see more of it. But if there was ever a case that it's justified that we waive it, I would feel that this would be that case. It just with COVID delay and everything else, because you are operating a restaurant and you're not operating a video gaming cafe. So that's my opinion. I'm sorry, I'm still a no, but I do support
I understand your situation is, you say no because you operate a restaurant. And COVID stuff is about 3 million restaurants in the United States is shutting down with the big names on it too. I could Cheesecake Factory and all this stuff too. And those properties gonna be vacant for a while.
Right.
Nobody gonna get it.
But Mike, he votes no, no matter what you are. He's against
Yeah,
gaming.
I'm supporting you,
yeah.
but I'm not supporting video gaming.
That's,
I understand.
Yeah.
That's I'm trying to explain to you for that
let's
too.
first hear from the rest of the trustees if they have any
Okay.
input. Anybody else?
Mayor?
Yes.
Yes, I tend to agree with Trustee Barker in the sense that this would be the opportunity to waive that requirement or at least be more flexible than we have been, not just COVID aside and the restaurant business itself, but just given that, in fact, we know what the business is, they have been operating. I trust the due diligence from our staff and all signs look okay. I would support expediting it, at whatever we decide, but I think this would be a good example for it.
Thank you. Any other comments?
Mayor,
Yep.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I would not support immediate transfer without a probationary period. I would be very fearful that we would open a Pandora's box in the future of, again, not wanting just a cafe. With the license there, it kind of can just be a cafe. So, as the mayor mentioned in the opening of this, the reason we put this in was to see what kind of business they were operating. Not serving minors, all the important things that we look for. So, I don't think it's a good precedent to set. And I appreciate there's two sides of it, and I look at all three sides of it, so I wouldn't need a rebuttal, and I understand how tough the restaurant business is. But again, that would be my stance.
Well, thank you.
Trustee Barry, if I may ask, would you support, since at least one of the owners has an operating history, would you support less than a year, such as 6 months, and review at that time?
Yeah, that's kind of, I guess, what I alluded at there, that, without some type of seeing what type of operation it is, because, again, we just don't know. I mean, we know the partner, but what if it is bad, and then, we've rewarded something that is supposed to be just a reward for following the rules and so forth. So yes, a probationary period I think would be, realistic, and we definitely want to do everything we can to help during these trying times.
Good. Thank you. Thanks for that question, John. Any other trustee?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, this is Marie. I would say too, with the 50-50 split, I would be in favor of waiting the 6 months just to kind of see where we're at. Because I want to make sure that we're not setting a precedence, and being that it's a 50% new owner, I would definitely be in favor with going with the 6 months.
Good, thank you. Anybody else kind of agree with the, some sort of a probationary period, not the full year? Trustee Brady, any comment?
Comment.
Okay. I guess the consensus, it looks like, well, I can't vote. Why is that guy raising his hand at the podium? I don't know.
I'll be brief.
Deputy Liquor Commissioner Mulhern.
Mayor, the background has been done. I would redo it again in 6 months, just preliminarily. Mike has already gotten his Illinois State Gaming Board license. He has to go back and change that, and I don't know how long that would take. It's my understanding when you add a new person, they're going to probably make you redo it from what I understand.
15 days.
15 days, okay. So, I mean, I just want to let that know that he has to do that as well. He has never applied for a Class 23 license yet. He was going to until this change came. So again, too, this will come back in front of the board in whatever time period you decide now, I guess, for the Class 23, and at that time you would approve that license or not.
When did he officially open? What was the date?
Well, the new license hasn't opened yet. So
no, the click, the original.
It was April of 2019.
Yeah, no, yeah, April of 2019.
I sense there's needs to be some sort of probationary period, and to go along with everybody's fear, we want to make sure that it is predominantly a restaurant, and I would say that it looks like 6 months would be the logical thing, because you're 50-50, so we want to see what the other 50% and a new restaurant, new menu. And I know Trustee Barker just anti-gaming, which he has a right, so he's already explained himself, but it sounds like pretty much, I'm getting shaky heads, that 6 months would probably be the reduction from the year to 6 months, and justification be you're still 50% owner, so we want to see what the new restaurant's going to do.
Yeah, I just want to add, I mean, whatever you guys decide, I just requesting that. I'm not going anywhere. I know he's a 50%. The only reason is I'm not there 24/7. So that's the reason I bring in the partner. But everything is under my supervision, still going to be same way, which I was operating for last 2 years. And everybody knows, what I got a hard time for the neighbors and all the stuff too. I always try to comply in that too. And we are operating the gaming business, myself, with him, with the other restaurant for last 3-4 years. And other trustee were talking about the underage and stuff like that too. You go to my background check, his background check, any restaurant, even though you find one incident for last 10 years, I can surrender myself for out of the business. We don't do that. We always comply by the law, and always comply by, the city law, state law, whatever it is.
We wouldn't be approving your liquor license tonight if you did.
That's true.
I think this is a whole different category that this board has put in place so we can guarantee that it's a restaurant first by watching and observing for a period of time before it becomes a gaming establishment. So Manager May had his hand up.
Well, and you just spoke to something that I was thinking about. The question is for either the attorney or maybe Tom, but the trigger for the gaming, the trigger for the Class 23 is the issuance of a new license is what changed. And we talked to the ownership and the 50/50 part, but at what point, if it's the same corporation, what does the fractional, why did we have to issue a new liquor license? What is that?
Well, that's in Chapter 10 of the Code of Ordinances regulating liquor license. Whenever there's a change of ownership of a certain percentage, it triggers the requirement for a new license.
What is that percentage?
20%.
Okay.
So that's why they're here tonight. And then you've got the ordinance that says anytime there's a new liquor license and they are seeking video gaming, they have to be in operation for at least a year. So it sounds like the board's willing to compromise with 6 months. Maybe in about 5 months, you can submit an application for a Class 23 liquor license. Then it can go on the village board agenda and, at the end of 6 months.
I think Trustee Barry, are you out there?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I'm sorry. It's this part of the COVID era here. I apologize for interrupting, but just one of the things to remind everyone is that the reason we put these tools in here was to make sure that a restaurant could maintain on their own, and this was to enhance or to help out their business, and again to make sure they're a restaurant. So we've seen that previous business kind of not make it and is closed today. So, the 6 months is even somewhat concerning to me because if they can't make it as a restaurant, we don't want it just to be made on the gaming. And I go to Trustee Barker who I respect his view on it also. But so again, just a little different here because this one has closed and now it's coming back. So, I mean, I think the 6 months would really be giving them something, and would have to really be thought about and maybe discussed at a different meeting or something. But just again, I just wanted to remind that we want to make sure that these businesses can maintain on their own, not be dependent on the machines.
One thing I want to clear with you, Trustee. The reason we are closed because of governor restriction, not for our willing to close it. Because the governor restriction was we had to shut down. That's the reason we had to shut down. Otherwise, we are open today too. Because you can see that all the restriction, March 17, we had to shut down. And when the governor opened it, we opened back again. And November, he shut it down, the whole thing. We had to shut it down. Because I cannot open it because of all the governor shut down, not my willing to shut down.
Mayor, a question, please.
Yes, Trustee Barker.
Have you guys been in partnership before? Just curious. Have you worked together before? Or?
So he is working with me, it's almost about 17 years. Okay, he managed for me, it's like so many other restaurants. So that's, he's loyal, follow the restriction, follow the guidelines and everything too. That's the reason I'm offering him as a partnership
that's
too.
Great to
So
hear.
because that's the person who can bring the business the way my restrictions, he know each and everything. So that's the reason he bring in a partnership today.
Yeah.
So I want to reward him just like that too.
Yeah. Okay, good. Thank you.
Quick
Trustee
question.
Little.
Will you be at the site daily?
Correct, I'll be there.
Okay,
Yes,
thank you.
you're welcome.
I think I put in my report, basically, Jesus will be the day-to-day manager. Mike, again, he's not retiring, he lives in a neighboring community, so he's gonna be close. He's not leaving this and abandoning, but Jesus will be the main point of contact. Jesus will be running things with Mike's guidance. Is that a fair way to put it?
Yeah. Trustee Guzzo, Trustee Nero, any feeling on the probationary period before we move on?
I want to see 6 months, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I'm with the team. I think expediting it to 6 months is the right thing to do.
Thank you.
Okay, I think the consensus is, because we can't vote on it tonight, and is that we're looking at 6 months. And I think that no matter what you've done in the past, and you have been a good owner, it's just what our policy is, and they're rescinding the 12-month to 6 months. So, and we really can't vote on it tonight, but you got direction that that would be the case. So hopefully you'll have a successful restaurant business without gaming, and the gaming will add the icing on the cake. So,
No, I loved, I mean, thank you very much for 6 months rather than 1 year. I really appreciate it. We looking forward to it, but it's not like I'm trying to open cafe. Because I have opportunity to open 70, 100 cafe in Illinois, but I am not interested on that too. We are main focus on the restaurant business, but those things help, and especially the COVID.
Yeah.
And you know about, I just give a perfect example. You're from South Side, so you know about the Glenwood Oaks. We used to do about $5 million business. Right now, we're not even doing $300,000 business. So gaming helping us to pay the mortgage too.
yeah. And again, 6 months will go by fast. Your restaurant
Yeah.
business, seafood.
Well, I'm happy with that,
right.
at least reduce the 6
All
months. so
right,
that's
well,
good.
congratulations on the partnership. We're looking forward to seeing that menu in person. So
I can leave it, I'll leave it here if you wish to, at the end of the meeting, take a look.
And that's,
Okay?
again, that's just a sketch right now. We're still, putting some more pictures and improving some other stuff.
Good, good.
And I would like to say thanks, everyone, for the opportunity. And I won't let no one down, I'll try my best to keep up the good work around here. And dinner on me before we open up.
Well, I don't know if we can have that. But,
We are planning to bring the
the
sample.
attorney says no. But the next time you're here, you can bring samples. But congratulations, your liquor license has been approved, and work with Tom as far as coming back when the probationary period is up.
Sure.
So thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
thank
you,
you,
Mayor. Thank you, Mark.
thank you.
All right. Moving on. And I think Deputy Liquor Commissioner, no, we're going to have Mulhern or Zemanek address this one, the tobacco license code amendments. Board to consider an ordinance approving text amendments to Chapter 22, Article 13, tobacco license of the Village Code of Ordinances. Deputy Liquor Commissioner, or Tobacco Commissioner Mulhern.
Two hats today. The first proposed amendment is to Section 22-1210 and clarifies requests for annual renewals of tobacco licenses may be denied. The second amendment adds Section 22-126 stating that licenses must comply with all village, state, and federal ordinances, laws, and regulations. If approved, the Tobacco Commissioner may fine a licensee or may suspend or revoke a tobacco licensee where the license has failed to pay places for eatings tax, failed to maintain their property, or otherwise failed to comply with village or other laws. And two reasons for this. This section is what we also have in our liquor codes, which allows us to, if a business is not complying with all village codes, it can be brought in front of the tobacco or the liquor commissioner for a hearing and can be addressed that way. The reason was we did have an incident late last year where a business had violations. However, they had a tobacco license, but we could not take any action because we didn't have this section. And that's what's prompted it. And I don't know if John wants to explain further.
No, nothing else to add other than there's a typo in the agenda. It's section, 12, instead of 126, it's 1269. That's the new section that was added in the ordinance. Other than that, I think it was explained well.
It gives us a little bit more authority, so.
Correct.
Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve, Little?
Second, Nero.
Motion made in second. Any questions? Seeing none. Oh, Trustee Brady.
Just a second.
Oh, okay. I'd ask for a roll call, please.
Trustee Little,
Yes.
Trustee Brady,
Yes.
Trustee Barker,
Yes.
Trustee Nero,
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo,
Yes.
Trustee Barry.
Yes.
Motion passes. And I am going to move an agenda item up. I'd like to move item E before the next two, because we have a gentleman here, I think, that is here for that item. And it's 141 South Cass Avenue, the B1 permit for R&R Financial Services Incorporated. Board to consider ordinance for B1 development permit for RR Financial Services Incorporated at 141 South Cass Avenue in Westmont. And I got Director Sylvester.
Thank you. Very briefly, the applicant's here, and he'd like an opportunity to introduce himself and explain his business. But he's an existing Westmont business, R&R Financial. He's hoping to relocate within the community to a spot on South Cass at 141. I was just reminded of the name of the antique business that used to be located there. It's in the building just south of the Holy Trinity parking lot on the east side of the street.
Eclecticville.
Eclecticville. So the proposal is to move into the former Eclecticville building at 141 South Cass. So his name is Roger Roman, and I'll let him introduce himself.
Good evening, Mayor, trustees. Roger Roman is my name. I'm a CPA. I've been a CPA now for over 20 years. I've been in the accounting profession for over 35 years. Married, have 4 kids of my own, now a grandfather. My daughter is now in college and is also looking to become a CPA, and she will join, actually she's already joined my firm, and she will continue on the business at some future date when I decide to retire. The building at 141 South Cass, I purchased that building. Is this working here? Yes.
We're good. Our tech
So-
guide.
Pop up in a second.
Okay, there we go. So I started RR Financial Services in the year 2000 after I became a CPA. I had a career in corporate America, doing what they always told me to do, get a good job, you know, and you climb the corporate ladder. But I soon discovered that there was a need in the community. A lot of family, friends, and coworkers found that I became a CPA, and they're like, hey, can you help me out? I have this situation, that. So I found a passion, and I found that the need of the community was greater than my own need to make money in corporate America. So I started this venture 20 years ago in 2000, and it's been growing ever since. I've moved several locations, and in 2011, I moved to Westmont. I chose Westmont as my location for my business because it was central to the number of clients that I have as I've grown over the last 10 or so years. And what makes that unique is the amount of people that come to visit me on an annual basis. They come from all over Chicagoland area. And as you can see here by this chart, a majority being in the Chicagoland area, in Chicago, but also a lot of neighboring towns. And as people come and visit me, yes, they do patronize the local area. So right now I'm located at 900 Oakmont Lane, and a lot of my clients patronize Papadot Restaurant and a few other local establishments. I myself, I'm a big eater, and I frequent a lot of restaurants in Westmont. So I've been in, as I mentioned, I've been in operation since 2011 here in Westmont, and also I bought a house on 26 East Dallas, right around the corner. That's where my daughter lives, and she now is employed by my company. So not only will we will be investing in Westmont, we now going to be living in Westmont. The building is a mixed-use property. It has the storefront, and then it has a rear apartment. My plans is to spend $150,000 bringing that building up to speed. It's very outdated, and I think that will raise the property values for other businesses in the downtown district because it's going to be a beautiful building when I'm done with it. I'm also looking to have the apartment to be my downsized home because I'm becoming an empty nester, and I don't need the size of the house that I have right now, 4,000 square feet, and it's just too big for me and my wife. So we will be looking to occupy the apartment and work where we live. Moving to the business district from Westmont, I'm now leasing that place, and it made economic sense to then own, and also I'm kind of enjoying being in Westmont. I love the community, and my daughter's in here now, and she loves the community, and we're excited about making Westmont our home. Being in the business district, what I feel, it will raise the awareness in the community. So right now, being in the corporate, like business building, I'm not exposed to the community enough where I feel I can be more helpful. My practice is an accounting and tax practice, but it's also a financial guidance business. And so I do that a lot with the community. I give them a lot of financial advice that they need to make honest decisions to help their family. A lot of divorces ending because of financial issues, and so my goal and my mission is to educate the community to make better financial decisions. Also, as a CPA, with my knowledge of law, within the tax law, I'm able to help clients, and I hate to use a cliche, but get a better refund. And obviously, with them getting additional, keeping some of their hard-earned money, they will spend that in their local communities. And I can tell you I've saved, over the last 20 years, a lot of money for the community, and that money stays local. Also, with my business being that I own the business, I'm not a tax franchise at all, so a lot of my money doesn't go to pay franchisors, and it stays in the community. So I mentioned that I'll be making a big investment in the building. I do have a quote here from a reputable company that details the renovation that I'm going to make. And again, it's a $150,000 investment. And again, that will increase the property value of the building as well as the surrounding buildings. So that's a little bit about my practice, a little bit about me and my plans, and I hope that the board would approve the permit.
And you're not moving there because of Uncle Bub's? No, sorry. No.
We've eaten at Uncle Bub's.
Yeah.
And in fact, some of the neighboring business owners are happy that I'm moving into the neighborhood. I think they can use my advice and some of my guidance, so I think they're pretty excited about me moving in.
Well, do we have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve, Barker.
Second, Little.
Motion been made and second to approve. Comments? Always like to see someone come in and improve.
I'm calling them tomorrow.
Does your daughter, the backyard has to be connecting to the property almost?
Yeah, my daughter actually, 26 East Dallas, we're like this to each other.
That's what I thought.
So she literally can walk through she'd have to walk through a neighbor's yard to get to work. But
Or the
we're
grandkids
like
could
this.
walk through the neighbor's yard
Yeah.
to get to you. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So once I'm there, and of course she has 2 kids, so I would love to see my grandkids a lot more when we're right next door to each other.
Yeah,
So
good.
it'd be great.
Seeing no other comments or questions, I'd ask for roll call, please.
Trustee Barker.
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo.
Yes.
Trustee Barry.
Yes.
Trustee Little.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Nero.
Yes.
Yes. Well, motion passes. So we're
Great,
looking
thank you.
forward
Very good
to
for your
when you
time,
plan on
everyone.
opening the business?
Excuse me?
When do you plan on opening the
So-
business section, part of it?
So right now, my lease expires in November, and so I'm looking to hopefully move in by September.
Okay.
And I heard earlier today about a ribbon opening ceremony. That would be nice if that could happen. I don't know if that's something we can arrange, but if that's the case.
Larry Forsberg is the guy you go to.
Oh, okay,
All
very
right.
good. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh,
everyone,
good,
for your
thank you.
time.
Good luck.
All right, thank you.
Now we'll go back to the new business C, voluntary annexation, 6303 South Richmond Avenue. Board to consider an ordinance approving the voluntary annexation of property located at 6303 South Richmond Avenue. And I got Manager May.
Yes, Mayor, we covered all things voluntary and involuntary annexation earlier at the Administration Finance Committee. But this address, 6303 South Richmond, is a new property owner at that address, at that location, and they are contiguous to the Village of Westmont and eligible for annexation. They've submitted a petition for annexation, and we're eager to accommodate them and welcome them in.
And it fits in our boundary agreement with the surrounding communities.
Correct.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve the annexation?
Motion to approve, Little?
Second, Nero.
Second by Nero. Comments? Questions? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Little.
Yes.
Trustee Barry.
Yes.
Trustee Nero.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Barker.
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo.
Yes.
Motion passes. Move on to new business D, voluntary annexation 455 Birchwood Court. Board to consider ordinance approving the voluntary annexation of property located at 455 Birchwood Court. And again, Manager May?
Yes, it's the same topic, different address. 455 Birchwood Court is at the corner of Richmond and Birchwood. They are also contiguous currently to the Village of Westmont, eligible for annexation, and submitted a petition for annexation actually at our invitation. So everybody on Birchwood Court was invited to participate at this time, and they are interested.
Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second, Little?
Motion been made and second to approve. Any comments? Again, this falls in our boundary agreement with the local municipalities.
Yes.
It does, so I'd ask for a roll call, please.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Barker.
Yes.
Trustee Little.
Yes.
Trustee Barry.
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo.
Yes.
Trustee Nero.
Yes.
Motion passes. New business F, an engineering service agreement, East Des Moines Street Water Main Project. Board to consider ordinance authorizing an engineering agreement with Baxter and Woodman for Phase 1 and Phase 2 engineering services for the East Des Moines Water Main Project. And Director Ramsey.
Thank you, Mayor. This is one of three you're going to be hearing about these service agreements tonight. This one is on East Des Moines Street. We've had over 30 water main breaks in the past 15 years on the street, and we'll be upsizing the water main from a 6-inch ductile iron to an 8-inch PVC. We're requesting the approval of a sum of $49,600 for Phase 1 and Phase 2 engineering services for this water main project.
Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve, Little?
Motion to approve, Nero.
Second, Little?
Motion been made and second. Director Ramsey, this is on the question. We've been really aggressive replacing our water mains over the years, and I think we're getting close to having most of them replaced, aren't we?
We are. It was one of my goals of being a director here is to try to get us to a position where we have no water main that's older than 1975, and we're close. This part of the town is the last part of town that we really need to work on. There's a couple stragglers here and there in different parts, but once we get this area done, then the main part of the downtown area will be replaced.
Good. Any other questions? Seeing none, I'd ask for a roll call.
Trustee Nero.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Little.
Yes.
Trustee Barry.
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo.
Yes.
Trustee Barker.
Yes.
Motion passes. New business G, engineering services agreement, South Linden, East Dallas, and South Warwick water main project. Board to consider ordinance authorizing an engineering service agreement with Baxter and Woodman for Phase 1 and 2 engineering for the South Linden, East Dallas, and South Warwick water main replacement project. Director Ramsey.
Thank you, Mayor. This is also in the same area of the last one we just talked about on East Des Moines. This section of water main, along with that, was installed in 1940, and it has had numerous water main breaks on it since then. Again, we're requesting a sum of $49,600 for Phase 1 and Phase 2 engineering services for this water main project.
Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Brady?
Second, Little?
Second, Little. Comments? Director Ramsey, real quick, we've used Baxter and Woodman quite a bit. They've been very reliable for us. Do we solicit any other prices, or just because they've been working with us, we have confidence in them?
Yes, we do get other bids from other engineering firms, but, you know, you're right. We've had a great working relationship for Baxter One for a very long time, very confident in their work. They know our water system better than anyone else. We do spread the wealth kind of with other projects, you know, road projects and our alley projects and stuff like that. We use multiple engineering firms for a lot of different projects in public works. It's just in this case with water main, we've had such a great working relationship for Baxter and Woodman that, and like I said, they know our system very well. It's hard to, you know, find somebody else can do as good of a job for the price that they do it at.
Good.
Yeah, Mayor?
Yes.
Just,
Trustee Barker.
just following on that, Mike, I see they're all priced the same. There is no way that that stuff can be grouped into a single project? Or is it just, it wouldn't matter, it wouldn't make any difference?
Well, it's a good question. So the first two could have been grouped into one big project, but the way that the water main's laid out and the way it's how we're going to have to kind of separate it and do it at different times, we couldn't really do that with that one. But you're right, that's in the same area. We could have made it one big project, but the way that we have to tie into Wilmette, which is a big 6-inch water main, which is a big transmission main, we really couldn't do that. We kind of had to break the project up. And then the last one is on a different side of town. It's North Warwick, and it's a whole different situation, which I'll be talking about in a minute, why we kind of broke that up. But you're right. We try to combine as many projects as we possibly can, every chance we get. And when we go out to bid, when we're looking for a contractor, we will try to bid out some of these projects together so we get a better price.
Yeah, I understand not being able to maybe do it all at one time, but I'm just wondering, did the numbers change if it was grouped? Or was it, you know, it would just be double?
It's a good question.
It's all based on linear footage, and ironically, all three of these projects, the linear footage is pretty close to being the same on all three.
So it doesn't necessarily mean the numbers would change?
Correct.
Right, okay, thank you.
I did have a question. Is this on Dallas? Well, let's see. The first one would be on Des Moines and then Dallas. The main runs east-west on Des Moines. It's on the north side of Des Moines?
It is on the north side of Des Moines, that is correct.
So that has to all come up and be replaced. Then you're talking about East Dallas. Does that run on the north side of Dallas as well?
It does not. That runs on the south side of Dallas. It's right along the park. I'm sorry. You are right. It runs on the south side of Dallas, across from the park. It's actually in the road there.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, and on East Dallas, that runs all the way to Clarendon Hills, or does that just to the park?
We're just doing it from from Linden to Warwick on Dallas there. That's all we're doing, that little section that's right in front of the park.
Okay.
In front of Lou Samara's old house, huh? Would that be the best way?
Getting close. I just know that I've got all the right-of-way on my side. Yep, there's none on the north side.
So I just wanted to elaborate or qualify what we're talking about, and we understand it better maybe than people that are listening. So firstly, the engineering services agreement, phase 1 is preliminary engineering, but phase 2 is to get the construction plans, physically done plans and specifications to get ready to go out to bid. So this isn't construction, this is doing the design, getting the estimated work so that we can budget accordingly. One reason to, combine or not, or to keep separate so that we have the ability to separate those should we choose to. The other point was, you were asking about competitive services. We do use a variety of consultants for different services, but we cannot solicit engineering services based on price. So we have to do requests for qualifications. Baxter and Woodman, actually Baxter and Woodman has been the primary consultant for the water utility, I think, since like the 1950s. Nobody understands the system, better than they do. So we already have that established relationship and allows us to go directly to them. if we wanted to diversify and do that, we could put out a request for qualifications. We've done that with other work, like for the alleys and other infrastructure type projects. But for the water utility, this is, you know, a go-to consultant for those logical reasons.
And again, professional services, you can't bid out, you have to look for qualifications.
You have to go out for qualifications unless, as Manager May said, you have an existing relationship with an engineer, and then you don't have to go out for qualifications if you don't want to.
What you cannot do is base it on price.
Yeah, yeah. So that's a good point, so everybody who's listening can follow. Any other comments?
Just to point out
Just
that
to add to that, just real quick. So 1947 is when we started working with Baxter and Woodman, and we were the third municipality that ever worked with.
Attorney Zimmerman.
Just to clarify that, although you can't select someone based on price, when they submit the contract or proposal with the price amount, you can reject it and then move to another engineer.
And we do. You negotiate the price. If you don't like what they give you, you can reject that consultant and move on to somebody else, but you can't select them based on low bid.
Yeah. So you still have some control over the price
Yes.
as far as negotiation. Good. I ask for roll call, please.
Trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Little?
Yes.
Trustee Barker?
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo?
Yes.
Trustee Nero?
Yes.
Trustee Barry?
Yes.
Motion passes. We'll move on to new business H, our third engineering services agreement, North Warwick Water Main Project. Board to consider an ordinance authorizing an engineering services agreement with Baxter and Woodman for Phase 1 and 2 engineering services for design of the North Warwick Water Main Project. Director Ramsey.
Thank you, Mayor. This water main is on North Warwick. It's substandard. It's 4-inch cast iron, and it goes from Chicago Avenue to Burlington. It is the last water main on this side of town between Burlington and Chicago that needs to be replaced. So we're requesting the approval of a sum of $49,600 for Phase 1 and Phase 2 engineering services.
Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion. Go ahead.
Motion to approve, Barker.
Second, Little?
Motion made and second. Any additional questions or comments?
Yeah.
Trustee Barker.
Mike, is there any other 4-inch water lines out there?
Not on a residential road, no.
Yeah.
This will be the last one we replace.
Yeah, I'd like to get a piece of that when you dig it up. Thank you.
Thank you.
I can arrange that.
Any other comments? Seeing none, I ask for roll call, please.
Trustee Barker?
Yes.
Trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Little?
Yes.
Trustee Barry?
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo?
Yes.
Trustee Nero?
Yes.
Motion passes. Moving on to miscellaneous. I just have one item, and it would be that there can be indoor dining a certain percent, up to a certain amount of people, so please visit our local establishments or at least get a carryout from them, because definitely, as you heard before, the restaurant business is a tough business to be in right now, so if we can support them, I think everybody would really appreciate it. Anybody else on miscellaneous?
I have one.
Yes.
I just want to wish my good friend Nancy Martins, who is a trustee here, she has a birthday on the 18th of February. So just wanted to wish her a happy
Nancy,
birthday.
and tomorrow's Spencer's birthday. He'll be 30.
Right, right. Spencer's tomorrow.
Yeah, looks like he is 30. But anything else? Anybody comments? If not, we don't have an executive session, so I'll entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Motion to adjourn. Little?
Motion made by Brady, second by Little. To adjourn. Roll call, please.
Trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Little?
Yes.
Trustee Barker?
Yes.
Trustee Nero?
Yes.
Trustee Guzzo?
Yes.
Trustee Barry?
Yes.
And thank everybody for attending and participating. This meeting is adjourned.